Greetings, Tubineros. So, I recently had a conversation regarding the merits of meritocracy, how it's proof that Western democracy works by allowing equal opportunity for the talented to achieve their goals and improve society in general, the key to the West's success as opposed to the stagnation of both feudalism or socialism. On the surface, there seems much to commend the idea. Society is better off when ordinary people are encouraged to do their best and are even rewarded for doing so. But on taking a closer look, we find this is merely another substitute for democratic equity, leaving the unsuccessful behind to stew as losers, who apparently deserve their fate and therefore no help in changing their circumstances. Meritocracy is as old as the alleged biblical advice, God helps those who help themselves, and those who fall by the wayside have only themselves to blame for lack of blessings. Updated, it was the basis for social Darwinism and eugenics, that the superior will always rise to the top regardless of circumstances, thanks to breeding. When the Nazis tried to help the breeding process and directly eliminate said losers, the proponents of meritocracy had to adjust their theories accordingly. Basically, the idea is an intellectual reworking of Aristotle's notion of aristocracy, the rule of the best. Meritocracy advocates, however, maintain that instead of inherited privilege, a democratic society will offer its privileges of ownership and rule and reward to those most deserving by effort. That it is immoral to guarantee equality of results without effort to reward the lazy and incompetent just for existing. The downside is that encouraging competition breeds a dog-eat-dog psychology, to use the Roman phrase, homo homini lupus, man is a wolf to man, or, as Thomas Hobbes put it, such is the nature of men that howsoever they may acknowledge many others to be more witty or more eloquent or more learned, yet they will hardly believe there be many so wise as themselves. Not only do competitors misjudge the abilities of their competitors and those lesser folk around them, they continually look for ways to game the system, to keep their competitive advantage intact and pass the opportunity on to their children. Whether it's inherited wealth or insider tracks in entertainment, business, or government, how often do we see dynasties in our equal opportunity society? The Bushes or Kennedys, the Rockefellers, the Waltons, of retail, not of Walton's Mountain. Do these people deserve more than you just because of who they are? So we commonly see that talent and ability are not enough. It's who you are and who you know, determining your opportunity for success. The mass culture promoted in the West is designed to reinforce this elitism and thus deprive democracy and social justice of their moral and intellectual foundations to indirectly subvert these ideals without the necessity of a military dictatorship. Though Homeland Security stands ready should the masses boycott American Idol to recreate American reality. Even the creationist ideal, that all are created equal, is belied by the worship and cult of success. So what's wrong with success, Zove? What's wrong with hero worship? Bitching about all this is for mediocrities, and if competition inspires excellence in ordinary people, it's all for the good. Well, that's just it. The notion of worship, where there's no room for the rational facts of existence, that we're all made of the same organic material, all have our own talents and capacities, that we have the equal right to life and liberty regardless if we're a success, that is, allegedly better than anyone else, in business or law or politics or sports or entertainment, even if not particularly beautiful, tall, or thin, or blonde. Let's look at the front runners of political power in the upcoming US&A elections. Mitt Romney belies the entire thesis straight off, but Barack Obama, surely he's an example of the openness of a meritocratic American society. Admittedly, you have more of a case here. Obama did not inherit great financial wealth or property, unlike Romney. He seems the essence of a self-made man. But let's take a closer look. His mother, who raised him, was a professional anthropology consultant of the United States Agency for International Development and for the Ford Foundation in Indonesia. She was also a consultant to microfinance programs for national banks in Indonesia and Pakistan. So her son's soft spot for bankers comes honestly enough. Obama's native intelligence was no doubt facilitated by his highly educated household, which background greased the wheels for his entry into Columbia and Harvard Law School. These are, of course, the elitist of elite institutions. Their graduates become the natural rulers of the empire. There's nothing common and everyday about such folks. Obama went on to become a part of the Cook County, Illinois Democratic Party machine based in Chicago, as close to a one-party totalitarian apparatus you'll find in the United States. It was also the seedbed for Hillary Clinton, the current number 2 person in the U.S. government. Poor Hillary thought she had the 2008 nomination sewn in the bag because she had hold of the right power levers in the party apparatus. But Obama's new face was what the machine wanted. He would represent the face of a changing America, even if his credentials were as elite, in essence, as Governor Romney's. So, you want clueless dumbasses running society, Azov? And didn't we already have that under 8 years of Bush Jr.? We see how the ideals of meritocracy are easily gamed by entrenched privilege and mocked in practice. But isn't it just all part of the human condition? You can say that, like cancer. And like cancer in an organic body, social deification corrupts and corrodes the ethical system of any society refusing to treat it. This is exactly why the average citizen of our mass consumer society does not see how he's tricked, conned, and cheated at every turn, because the con wears the face of a hero whom it is your duty to worship and trust and believe and even obey. Does Bono advocate the cause? Michael Jordan wear the product? Henry Winkler encourage you to invest today? Then how can it be bad? How can mere nobodies like us second-guess the rich and powerful and good-looking and successful? This is the entire shtick candidate Romney runs on. Vote for me. Buy my product, and you'll be a winner, too, just like me. But I don't need you nor your product to be a winner. I'm one already by virtue of my very existence. You might call the shots on the basketball court, but out in the larger world of humanity, I have as much right to call the shots of life as you. That sense of social equity is being consciously destroyed, and is moving from the world of popular entertainment and culture into the law of the land. The cult of success is exactly what blinds so many to the evil fruits of the Citizens United decision by the Supreme Court. The successful have the right to speak in proportion to their success, in the form of money. Meritocracy as a concept will be further destroyed as bionic science and pharmaceutical developments enable humans to add to their intelligence, their strength, their longevity. When the rich can game human biology in the same way they have the economy, law, government, and popular culture, what's left of free competition and success to the best? And we're right back to square one with Aristotle, and Dr. Mengele won't be far behind. So what to do about it? Give up all striving for excellence to pursue some pipe dream of social equality? Well, the key to doing something is to realize that human equality lies not in being individually identical to one another, but in the common identity of our basic needs as humans: food, clothing, shelter, and health, freedom, justice, and love and respect and dignity. In this we are all equal, all equally deserving. This is the fact of nature, and contrasting it with individual variation is always the deceptive excuse for denying any basis for human equality and thus equity in human relations. Great talent on the soccer field, or the movie screen, or the wrestling ring, or Wall Street, or in music or science does not give anyone the right to subordinate or ridicule the inherent rights to dignity and freedom of the many, for not measuring up to elite standards, which are by definition designed to exclude the honest efforts of the mass, for dignity and the reward of labor. About that time. Hello? Who is this? What a hoity-toity Brit accent. It's my aristocratic shtick here. You're Mary Shelley, author of Frankenstein. You want to let it be known that tampering with nature in search of excellence will destroy such meddlers? Yeah, that's part of the dual-use effect of science, isn't it? Dr. Frankenstein had to destroy his creation to stop it from breeding and destroying the human race. Well, good thing you wrote that 200 years ago in aristocratic England. If Ayn Rand had wrote it first in America, that creature and his kind would be running the world and calling it freedom.